Alright, guys, the passive voice. So, when you see the structure, I was born, I believe that you imagine that this is the passive voice. In Spanish, we translate only with one word, nací, but you have to understand that the word was born, the construction comes from the word bear, to give birth to someone. So be careful with this and use I was born. Let's compare the active voice and the passive voice with these two sentences. Earthquakes under the ocean cause tsunamis. The focus is on the person or thing doing the action. And in the passive voice, we talk about already the result of the action, in this case, tsunamis. When do we use the passive construction? We often use the passive when we are more interested in what happens to someone or something than in who or what did the action. The focus is on the result of the action. So, for example, the meeting was postponed. Who postponed the meeting? Well, we can guess that it was your boss. All the trees have been cut down. Who cut down all the trees? We don't know. We just see the result that the trees are not there anymore. When do we use the passive construction? So let's have a look. The first use. When the object is more important than the subject. The package was delivered 2 days ago. The package was delivered. Well, we don't know who delivered the package. Have you ever asked your delivery man his name? Well, I believe you haven't. When the subject is obvious, he is likely to be sacked. The construction to be sacked means to be fired, and is likely there is a big probability. He is likely to be sacked means that there is a big probability that they are going to fire him. When the subject is unknown, this t-shirt was made in China. Do we know who made this t-shirt? Do we care about this? No, we don't. We actually just stating the fact that it was made in China. With events and discoveries, the bicycle was invented in the 19th century. Do you remember who invented the bicycle, by the way? If you were interested in who invented the bicycle, you could have said by Carl von Drais, if I'm not mistaken. The fires are celebrated in March. Well, of course, everybody celebrates fires, and we don't have to mention by whom. The structure of the passive construction, subject plus the verb to be plus the past participle. So, we have to change the verb to be and use it in different tenses. Let's start with the present simple. Their albums are always recorded in professional studios. We have the adverb of frequency always, that's why we have to use the present simple. The album is being recorded now. Have a look at the structure is being. This is the present continuous of the verb to be. But wait, you will say, the verb to be is a state verb. How can I use it in an ing form? Well, guys, yes, you can, because this is not just the present continuous of the verb to be. It's the present continuous passive. So, yeah, we have to use this kind of construction. We use the present continuous because it is happening right now. The album has been recorded and is ready for release. Here we're talking about the result in the present, so that's why we have to use the present perfect. The album was recorded in the 1990s. Was the past simple of the verb to be. Was recorded, we use the past simple because we know when. The new album was being recorded when the lights went out. Was being, this is the past continuous form of the verb to be. Why do we use this form? Well, because it is a description of a background event when something happened. In this case, when the lights went out. The album had been recorded before the lead vocalist left the band. This is the past perfect of the verb to be, had been. Why do we use the past perfect? Because it happened before something else happened in the past. The album will be released soon. This is the future simple of the verb to be, will be. Why? Because we have the word soon. The new album will be being recorded while the band is on tour. This is the future continuous of the verb to be, will be being. This is a description of an event which is going to be happening while something else is going on. So that's why this is the future continuous. The album will have been recorded by the time the band returns home after the tour. You have the phrase by the time, and with this phrase you have to use a perfect tense. Well, in this case, this is the future perfect, will have been. Let's have a look at the examples with modal verbs. Their albums might be recorded in a professional studio. The album can be recorded here. The album should be recorded as soon as possible. With the construction used to. The album used to be recorded before winter. If you don't remember the use of the construction used to, I will leave you a link to one of my videos below. The construction be going to. The album is going to be recorded next month. With the construction be about to. The album is about to be released. Está a punto de salir. Be likely to. The album is likely to be recorded in May. Is likely to be. Now, I've got a challenge for you. You have to fulfill the gaps with the correct form of the verb, and also you have to choose the verb itself. On the next slide, you will see all the answers. In the past, small amounts of cocaine used to be used in the production of Coca-Cola. Did you know about that? Salt is spread or is put on roads when there is snow and ice. Central heating was invented by the Romans. Did you know that the original recipe for Coca-Cola contained cocaine? Coca-Cola's history has been well documented. The drink was invented in 1885 by John Pemberton, a pharmacist from Atlanta, Georgia, who made the original formula in his backyard. Pemberton's recipe contained cocaine in the form of an extract of the coca leaf, which inspired the coca part of the beverage's name. The cola comes from the cola nut, which contains caffeine, another stimulant. When Coca-Cola was invented, cocaine was legal and a common ingredient in medicines. People thought it was safe to use in small amounts. This information has been taken from the website that you can see below. Next sentences and the answers. In the future, many of today's hereditary diseases will be or will have been wiped out or eradicated through genetic engineering. Not so long ago, teeth used to be or were extracted or taken out or pulled out without any anesthetic. Thanks God we have anesthetics nowadays. Next sentences and the answers. In my grandfather's time, a driving license could be bought or could be obtained at a post office without having to take a test. Wow. Undeveloped film should not be exposed to direct sunlight. My younger students might not understand what an undeveloped film is, even if I translate it. So just Google it and find the pictures, okay? Two more sentences. "150 years ago, Gaelic was or used to be spoken much more widely in Scotland than it is today. Graded readers are books in which the language has been or is simplified so that learners can read them more easily. Right now, I'm working on some videos about books for different levels, so if you're interested, I suggest you check from time to time my channel and see if they are uploaded. Or if you want, you can just subscribe and stay updated on the newest videos. Next sentences. We've got three more sentences here. Hand gestures are used to mean different things in different countries. The world's tropical rainforests are being destroyed so quickly that may all have gone by 2055. In India, cows are regarded as sacred animals. So here you've got all of them if you want to read them one more time. And now we pass to the practice. As you know, practice makes perfect. You've got to fulfill the gaps with the verbs in brackets in the correct form of the passive construction. I give you some time, then I will pass to the next slide with the answers. Let's move on to the next slide where you have the answers. Children are given sweets on Halloween. Are given the present simple. I was stopped on my way home yesterday by a police officer. Was stopped because yesterday. Your health can be damaged by eating too much junk food. Can be damaged, modal verb and the verb to be. New forms of life might be discovered in the next century. My brother is being examined by a nurse right now. The present continuous of the verb to be is being because we are talking about right now. How many students were accepted by the university this year? You can also say have been accepted because we are talking about this year. And the new building won't have been finished by next month. Won't have been. We use the future perfect because we have the construction by the next month. My toilet was being fixed when you called. Was being fixed. This is the past continuous, was being. Then you have the past participle fixed. And here you have this passive construction. My wallet has been stolen. People had been warned about the hurricane. Alright guys, this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Write your comments below and see you later.